All right. There we go. That's better. So welcome to the stream, everybody. Thanks for joining me on this beautiful Saturday morning. Right around 9:45, 9:44, 9:45 in the morning. Our time. Whoever time it is for you guys. Thanks for joining the stream. Appreciate it. We're going to be taking this Max 8, this beautiful Max 8 from Newark over to Bermuda today. We're going to have a nice scenic approach into Bermuda. Weather was a bit rough last night in Bermuda. It's lightening up a little bit, but no doubt we should be enjoying a beautiful approach into there. And I'm going to turn the music in my headset down a little bit better. That's much more manageable. All right. Well, as the title suggests, we're doing a kickoff tour here on the stream. We're going to be doing the summer destination tour, and I'm going to bring DJ in. There we go. DJ, you're now live. So DJ's my co-host for this stream. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
Oh, I was yawning. It's saying good morning to everybody. How's it going?
DJ's going to be hosting the stream with me today. He's going to be racing me, actually. We're going to be racing each other. I'm departing Newark. He's going to be departing JFK. And we'll see who gets to Bermuda first. My money is on me, but we'll see how it goes.
I won't take off 20 minutes early on this one.
Oh, man. Well, thank you for tuning in. Let's go ahead and get this plane booted up and ready to go, shall we? While we do that, we do follow a lot of real world procedures. We are flying on the Vatsim network. So one of the first things that we always do is we took a look at our operational flight plan. So I'm going to bring our OFP over. Here is our United operational flight plan for today. We're United 1985. We're departing North Liberty on our way to Bermuda. Our cost index is 35, 727 mile ground distance, air distance 687. There's our average cruise wind. The ISA deviation is 9, so that's not terrible. All right, and our block fuel 21,264. So we're going to be packing a lot of fuel for this trip. Move on down. 171 passengers on board, 6,000 pounds of cargo. And what's our FinRes? So that's why we're packing it. We're packing a lot of fuel because of an alternate. Do we have an alternate filed for this trip? Yes, we have Echo Charlie Gulf, Elizabeth City, Virginia. Or is that North Carolina? North Carolina. It's our alternate in the most chance that we cannot land and we have to go around. And then we'll go over the routing here in just a little bit. So now that we've done that, let's take a look at the weather in Bermuda. Make sure that we can dispatch ourselves on this flight. I'm going to import the flight. And we'll move in over to here. So this is going to be our routing for the day. We're going to be departing Newark. Pretty much head out over like Monmouth County, New Jersey, or Lakewood, pretty much near my own stopping grounds. I'm from the Burketown, Lakewood area. And then out over the Atlantic Ocean on down into Bermuda, which will be landing runway, 30? Yep, 30 for departure. Let's go ahead and open up the airport. Let's get the latest METAR weather.
I didn't even realize that. Hometown departures for both of us.
I know, right? It's pretty cool, isn't it? Ooh, showers are in the vicinity. So it's still, last night was a bit rough. There was a bunch of thunderstorms and everything in the area. So there's still showers. So the wind 230 at Niner. Showers are in the vicinity. They have towering cumulus clouds at 1,700 feet, scattered 5,300 feet, broken at 16,000, broken at 24, 27 on the temp, and 1020 on the QNH, on the altimeter. So we'll be flying in and out of clouds the whole way on down to Bermuda. But it is reporting VFR, so we should be okay there. So showers are still in that area, but the weather looks good for dispatch now. There's no major visibility concerns. So we can go ahead and drop this down, and let's go ahead and enter the plane. And we'll take the music on down to a little roar in the background. There we go. Stand by 1 second, y'all. It'd help if I had the iFly app started. There we go. What do you got for passengers and fuel load and all that stuff, DJ?
Right now, I'm just trying to figure out why my button is not working on my push to talk. I didn't even get to that part yet.
Oh.
But let's check it out. So we're taking... Okay, we got a passenger count of 83 with a payload of 18,675. Well, just over 4,000 pounds of cargo, so not that much. Pretty light for 319, so...
Okay. Not bad, not bad.
I'm trying to figure
at all.
out why my push control is not working.
Uh-oh. All right. So we're starting this plane cold and dark. It's the first flight of the day. We're here in Newark. As depicted by everything, it is cold and dark. One thing unique about the iFly is you have to manually load a panel status. So I have one specifically for here, cold and dark. Verify that the ground power light is available, so I know that that's active. Flight has been initialized. I will leave that as such. And I'll bring in our game audio. There we go. Oh, right.
The funny stuff you hear on Vatsim, I promise you, it can't be made up. It can't be made up.
Let's make this plane come alive, shall we? No, it cannot be made up. All right. Battery power is going on. External emergency exit lights are going to get armed. Seatbelt signs are going to go on. We'll pick up our ground power. IRSs are going to set to a line. Forward fuel pump goes forward. We'll take these off. Those are off, so that looks good. Window heats are going to go on. And the rest of the overhead we will leave be. Let's go ahead and do a quick fire test. All right, fire test is good. And we're going to jump over to the FO side because we're going to do our next system test. We'll jump back over to the captain's side. And we'll look down. Throttles are idle. Spoiler is stowed. Flaps are up. Engine switches are off. Park brake is set. Gear is down, indicating 3 green. I mean, I would hope they would be at that point. And the rest of the panels look good. All right. Let's go ahead and initialize the box. We're at Newark, KEWR. Grab our GPS coordinates from here, just like so. The route Newark, we're going to Tango X-Ray. It's a Kilo Foxtrot. And we'll do our flight plan request. All right. Flight plan is up, ready to upload or download, so we're loading it into the box now. Cool. And we'll grab the ATIS now before we do anything else. ATIS 134.825. Let's see if voice ATIS is working today.
Newark Airport ATIS information India 1251 Zulu. 1080 at 6. Visibility 10. Few clouds at 2,500. 6,500 scattered. Ceiling 2,000 broken.
I'm about to change my runway. You just
Temperature
told me.
26. 2.13. Altimeter 3010. ILS runway 4 right approach in use. Departing runway 4 left. Notices to air mission brief and call runway hold short instructions and assigned altitude. Advise on initial contact. You have information India.
All right, we've got India on board. 4 left is the runway in use for departure. 3010, set once. Set twice over there, and we'll switch our standby 3010. Set once, twice, 3 times confirmed. All right.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. What's up?
Oh, Mike's been acting funny lately. No, he's about to change my runway, so everything's about to change for me.
I planned for 22 right for departure, so I'm having to change things. Did you get a PDC?
I just got it. Yeah, he changed me from. Wait, what?
All right. So as we briefed at the beginning of the stream, 171 passengers on board, 6,000 pounds of cargo. So we're going to do 2,000, and we're going to put the rest of it in the back, 4,000. There we go. And we'll set payload. So now the payload is good. Our fuel, we talked and briefed, was going to be 21,264. How much wiggle room do we have to play? Because I may take on a little extra. Max is 23.8. So possible extra 2.5. Yeah, we'll do an extra 2,000. All right, so 23,300 and 21.3. So 23,264. We'll do 23,264. Taxi, standard taxis, 420 pounds of fuel used. Planned trip fuel is 9,277. So 9,277. We'll set fuel and set payload, and those are all done. So now we can go over here to the box. The most recent update with the iFly allows us to be able to auto-populate once we load the aircraft, so we can just go ahead and put our zero fuel weight into here. Our reserves for this, we talked about our FinRes. It's going to be 10,260, so 10.2 on the reserves. Cost index 35. We're going to be burning lots of Jet A today. All right, and we're going up to 370 is our final altitude. Cruise wind 287 at 025, so 287.025. ISA deviation was 9, and that looks good. And 1 limit. All right, so now we can do our performance calculations. But before we do that, let's go ahead and select our departure out of here. So departing 4 left, and goes up to. Let's take a look, make sure this doesn't have anything else in here. Elvay, Neck, Dixie, Yankee 481, King, Kinner. Okay. 370, Squawk. Got that. Nork 5 departure. Nork 5 departure. We'll execute that. We'll climb via the Nork 5 departure. So we'll brief that before we depart. And now we will do our arrival into Bermuda. We are doing the Momom. Yep, the Momom 1 arrival. And we'll do the ILS 30 Yankee. What is our transition? Bovik. There we go. And we'll select that. That way it loads the full approach in. And that looks good. We'll go to the legs page. Make sure there's no discons besides the one for the departure and the arrival. There we go. All right, those look good. So now we can go back and do our performance calculations. We'll hit complete. This brings up over here. We'll click the airport search button and we're at Newark. Search ident. And runway, we're departing 4 left. Condition, dry. Copy FMC data, 3010. 3010, so altimeter's checked. And that's good. So we'll try flaps 5. Air conditioning on. Anti-ice off. And we'll see what it gives us. SCL temp is going to be 37. And that looks good. So now we'll go over here. Flaps 5 for departure. CG. Alright, this is 143, 145, 154. All those figures are correct in the box. We'll go ahead and paste those in. So now our departure, our arrivals are set, our performance is set, our aircraft is loaded. We'll go ahead and fire up the APU. That can go down. Logo light can go on. And wheel well inspection light and wing light can go on. And Newark Tower's 18.3, so we'll go ahead and switch over there. How bad of a reroute was yours, DJ?
The reroute wasn't that bad.
Okay.
Basically, the guy just blew out my ears on frequency. It got bad really quick.
Alright, there is no ground, we just have tower. We've got ATIS India. So we're on the tower frequency now, and then 122.8 it'll be after we get out of here. While we wait for the APU to finish booting up, next thing we're going to do is our squawk, so 4277. 4277. Turn it on. And that looks good. Now, it did not do its
Glide
system
slope.
test. So let's make
Pull
sure
up.
it did it.
Wind shear. Wind shear. Wind shear.
There we go.
Terrain. Terrain. Pull up. Obstacle.
Oh, he just changed it to
Obstacle.
2 right.
Pull up. Sink rate. Pull up. Don't sink. Too low. Terrain. Too low. Gear. Too low. Flaps. Glide slope. Bank angle. Bank angle.
Approaching minimums. Minimums. 2,500. 1,000. 500. 400. 300.
Yeah, he's gonna change it. He just asked me to
200.
amend it.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Wind
Radar
shear.
copy for American
Wind
30%.
shear. Wind shear. Too low. Terrain. Caution. Terrain. Caution. Terrain. 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 Pull up. Caution. Obstacle. Caution. Obstacle. 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 Pull up.
I still expect 2 right, and
All right.
then radar the JFK 5 radar vector to ship, and then as file for American 3210.
We'll zoom out to 5 miles. We'll get our traffic rings in play. That looks good. Our APU's on, so we're going to switch it over to it. And we'll turn it back on so we get some air circulating in the back.
Yeah, we got
Fuel is
rerouted.
loaded. You got rerouted. And center tanks do have fuel, so we'll go ahead and arm those as well. Turn the fuel pumps on. And the rest of the plane is ready to go. Turn down the brightness a little bit. It's getting cloudy here in Newark already this morning.
Yeah, here in Jump Day too.
All right, so while we're doing this, let's go ahead and, while you're finishing setting up, we're going to go ahead and brief our possible taxi. So we're here at the Charlie Gauge, Charlie 94. We'll come around, more than likely they'll give us Alpha, all the way down to Alpha Alpha for left departure. Fairly easy taxi for us, just a little bit of a longer one. Go across the whole airport. Now we'll brief our departure. It's the Newark 5 departure, departing runways 4 left. So we'll read the notes over here. 4 left, standard minimum climb, 365 feet per nautical mile to 800 feet. ATC climb of 500 feet per nautical mile to 2,500. Those are the takeoff minimums. We definitely can manage that. Initial climb on heading 039 to 500 feet, then a climbing right turn to heading 55, and then 4 miles DME from India, Echo Zulu Alpha. I don't know why Indigo. I think it's just because of ROTC days way back in the day. Keep on thinking Indigo instead of India. Then a climbing left turn heading 290 across Teterboro, radial 214 westbound or above 2,500. Climb and maintain 3,000. Top altitude for this departure is 3,000. So as depicted, we're departing 4 left. The initial heading through 039, then a 55, cross Teterboro, and outbound 290 heading. We'll make sure we have these programmed here so we get our DME. So 110.75 on departure. So we're going to switch that. 110.75. $110.75. And there's our DME that we get up here. Boom. All right, let's finish the rest of this. So IEZA is the one we're actually supposed to be programming. So 108.7. So 108.7 is the one we actually should have programmed per the chart. So we'll go back here. We'll switch this back around 108.75 and switch that.
All right, we're ready to go.
$108.70. Survey says, boom, India Echo Zulu Alpha, and we have DME. So now we have our DME to be able to make these turns. We do have a particular done on the MFD, but you always have this stuff as a backup in the event that this fails, so that way you still have your DME from the waypoint to abide by the departure. All right. And then we'll get, more than likely, we'll end up self-vectoring to Elvay. And we'll come on down to Dixie and then head on, or is it white, and head on out. So now we're going to program this. This will be 3,000 feet. $3,000 feet is set. That goes there. APU is on. Go ahead and turn our hydraulics on. The rest of everything else looks good down here. How far are you from departing, Mr. DJ?
Getting ready to push back.
Oh, sweet. Perfect. Awesome.
Lindbergh 4616, ready to go. 4 left Alpha Alpha.
Lindbergh 4616, wind variable at 4, runway 4 left, good for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff.
We're going to go ahead and push back and get on out of here.
And Sentinel,
I'm a little worried about this part. I don't know why. I feel like I'm missing something.
All right,
I just went over
309
everything
are
like
set
3
once,
different
set twice,
times,
set
but I still
3
feel
times.
like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Something's off. I feel like I'm gonna get a failure this freaking flight. I have a feeling.
Don't jinx yourself like that. You'll be fine.
Oh yeah, I said that before.
Departure check completed. Bypass pin inserted.
Maybe wait to activate VR until you're leaving the airport.
Say again?
I said maybe activate VR, wait till you're leaving the airport and then activate it.
Man, I'm already
you're
in.
already
I'm
in
talking
it?
about an aircraft failure.
Oh.
Like, I have a feeling there's gonna be an issue because I'm already having some stuff at the gate, and I'm making sure we don't have any MBLs on this one. So that's why I'm kind of like delaying myself a little bit. It says I'm about 5 minutes
And
over.
Lindbergh 4616 for the ATC's availability to
One push time.
Appreciate the ATC. We'll see you next time. Lindbergh 4616.
Already shut that
Release
down, so
parking
that's
brakes,
fine.
please.
All right, park brakes are released. And we got to go over here to the tablet. I always forget about this because I'm used to the Phoenix with a direct integration. We'll go here and we'll disconnect all that stuff and then it should be happy. Yep.
All engines clear. Start at will.
Alright, we'll enjoy the engine sounds. Music's going off. And packs off. We'll turn number 1. There's that increase of RPM, suggesting that motoring is completed. We'll turn and introduce fuel and get back.
Please set parking brakes. Waiting your confirmation for a good engine start.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
And there's the leap letting us know it's alive. Cool. All right. Jump back in over here. And it's stable, so we'll switch this to continuous and we'll turn number 2.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
Well, thank you.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
And it was nice when we first started this stream. We got nothing but cloud cover now.
Oh yeah.
We'll have to climb above it pretty quickly. All right, motoring's complete with number 2. Introduce fuel. So far, so good with performance on the beta right now on this. doing pretty good.
Good over here.
I like it. I like hearing that.
Especially in VR. Yeah, me too.
Mm-hmm. I'm jealous.
Oh yeah, after yesterday I told you.
Sounds like you're
Told you.
crashing. Carter, what do you mean by that? Is there something wrong with the stream? Alright, we'll set laps 5. No, it's just saying, oh, okay, my bad. I gotta fix the chat. There was a chat delay, so I apologize about that. That's just doing the system test
like,
before we start the bus, the bird up. There we go.
What was the comment?
Sounds like you're crashing because I did the TCAS system test.
Oh.
A Jeep Wiz system test. So ran through it, and he said sounds like I was crashing. We hopefully don't want to hear any of those sounds besides the normal altitude callouts. That's the end game. We'll see how that goes. Alright, engine number 2 is online stable. We'll switch the gens. Turn that APU off. Set the packs. Isolation valve goes to close. Pitot heats can come on. And all lights above it here are extinguished. That looks good. Taxi light can go on. And wheel inspection light can go off. We don't need that. Bike directors 1 and 2. Masters to the left. And we'll arm the auto throttles once we get out of here. We're in the alley, so we'll pull forward to here. We'll call tower and let them know we are ready for departure. So let's roll out, chat.
American 3210 ready. Taxi.
Look at that, perfect. You'll probably get off the ground faster than me.
So you get for American 3210? What are you trying about for American?
In Oak Tower, top of the morning to United 1985, spot 21, just off the Charlie Gates with Juliet, taxi.
United 1985, Oak Tower, good morning, runway 4 left hand, your right turn on Bravo, Alpha Alpha.
Right turn Bravo, Alpha Alpha 4 left, United 1985. Alright, let's pull up our taxi chart. I keep it big so you guys can see everything that we're going to be doing. So he wants us to go right turn, so we're just going to continue straight out, Romeo Hotel, right turn on Bravo, all the way down to Alpha Alpha, down here. Fairly simple taxi for us. We'll give it some juice, we'll do that 40%, make sure we're in takeoff config and we don't get any warnings. And we're good, no takeoff warnings. And right is clear, and left is clear. Just a couple of setters here or there. Love the New York City skyline in the distance, though.
Take me home. Oh, something's happening. I can feel it. Oh, something's not right.
Don't you say that.
Oh, I feel it. Like, dude, like, it's hard to explain.
You're not allowed to say that.
Something's not right. Hold that thought.
Whole day at the end with a bunch of heavies.
Yeah. I'm over here. There's a bunch of them over here. Make it 3210, holding short at Alpha. Left on the Alpha, cross 3-1 at, so Alpha Bravo, then cross 3-1 at Bravo for American 3210. Yeah, something's not right with this. I'm gonna have an issue.
What do you mean? Maybe we figure it out before you depart. Is it like a bindings issue?
Yeah, it feels like it wants to pull right again. I already figured out the whole MBL thing. I'm good to go. Yeah, it's already pushing right. Why? Dude, that's so weird. Like I had that. You remember how it like pulls to the right?
Yeah. Do you have?
I feel like
do you have Do you have a different keyboard configuration where you literally blank everything out?
I can feel it kind of like wanting to go to the right.
Because I'll slow my taxi down to like 5 knots. I'll give you a little bit of time if you need it. Tower is probably like, why did he just slow down? I don't think there's nobody else taxiing right now, so we're okay.
And it would be at JFK that I have a binding issue. Yeah.
Just disconnect the keyboard. Until you're airborne, and then connect it back in when you're on autopilot. That'll give you 2 hours, because the flight time today is 2 hours 10 minutes. So
It's pulling to the right. I mean, what am I doing different? Let's see. Settings. Yep, that was it. Oh my gosh. Dude, I would have had a problem.
hey,
I
see,
would have had a problem.
that's why you do your control checks and you pay attention to what your plane is doing before anything. That's why the taxi is sterile cockpit while you're taxiing. You pick out you pick out things like that.
Yeah, and my thing is, I redid the what's that called? The livery. That's what it was.
All right.
But now why am I
if-
pulling left? Somebody tell. Oh.
Now, if you figure that out, I'm holding short of 4 left. I'm gonna go ahead to depart so we get some space in between us.
Yeah.
All right. Tower United 1985, short of 4 left, Alpha Alpha, ready to go.
1985 in Bearville at 4 left, 4 left, take off.
4 left, clear for takeoff. United 1985. Goes to strobe, wing lights, that's all good. This goes to TARA. And dispatchment fuel was 22. We're at 22.8, so we're good.
Cross 3-1 right at Echo for American 3210.
All right, chat. Let's enjoy this departure out of here.
I'm pulling ground.
It's
Sorry
a busy
about that.
departure.
is wrong with the runner?
Very stable. Release the brakes. And YOLO. Alright,
Do you
airspeed's
mind if I hold
alive.
short really quick? Have to check the battery setting from this.
8 minutes. Boss check.
What's the 2 right at Echo for American 32?
V1.
Rotate. That's just a new LOD. So the unfortunate thing about the new beta, what everybody's going to find out with the new LOD curve, is that most of the airports that have already been done for 2024, they're going to have to go back and redo them. So we get the centering stops with the new LOD curve.
Okay. What is down to rudders? That makes no sense.
Alright, we're paying attention to our DME.
I'm getting a constant right input. Like, it's definitely constant on the rudders. I'm not understanding why. It's weird. That's weird. Today everything wants to happen to me today.
Sounds about right. Alright, flaps are up. Going up to our top altitude. We'll stay at 3,000 for now.
Yeah, something is pushing hard right at the rudder. The Bible ready for American 32, and it might be a couple. Boy. Alright, so something is pushing constantly right there. Now I gotta find what it is.
We're outside the airspace now. We're going to continue our climb up.
Yeah, something's not right. I can't. Something is binding to my rudder. And it's causing me to go full right. I have a full right deflection. Center off?
Is your throttle tech?
No, it's the rudder.
Alright, we're in IMC. We'll let autopilot do autopilot things for now. They would just fix those audio setters and stuff, and it's just that LOD draw. Then this, I mean, that's still technically a release candidate, but they're able to fix those things. Be able to fix. You'll be able to get a lot more people to convert from 2020 to 2024. This is wreaking havoc on the main thread right now, man. Outburst 10. Landing lights off. Transition now. Back to some music, and we'll turn the sim sounds down.
Yeah, we have to head back to the gate. Did you hear me, brother?
Yeah, you gotta head back to the gate.
Yep.
But just because of fuel, or?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna need more fuel now because I sat there and I'm under my I'm under my minimum takeoff minutes.
Did you figure it out though, or no?
Nope. So there's something giving a constant input on my rudders to the point where I have to hit the left rudder.
All right. That's the biggest hurdle, aside from getting the graphics tuned to work for 2024, is the key bindings. I know they were trying to sweeten the deal or shorten it by creating profiles and everything else like that, but they just made the situation worse by doing that. Because now you get exactly what DJ's experienced, which is ghost bindings, and it takes you an hour and a half to figure out the bindings. and what is being pressed when it shouldn't be being pressed. I think so. When you fixed it, or kind of fixed it before, was it a keyboard binding?
Yes.
All right. Yeah, that's the keyboard stuff. Like I get people fly with a keyboard because they don't have the ability to, have peripherals or anything like that. But you should be able to have just like a blank keyboard with just like maybe views and certain navigation things as a profile set, but not just here's everything and how to fly with a keyboard set up for people that don't use keyboards. That should have been done a little bit better, in my opinion. All right, we're continuing our climb out. 19,600 going up to 370 now. We're above 18,000, so all altimeters are set to standard once, twice, and 3 times. All of our overhead lights are off, and our pressurization looks good. And enjoy the
Are you kidding me?
above the
That's
clouds.
actually a thing?
What?
That's really a thing?
What?
So on the Airbus, I did not know this. Well, I know it in real life, but like in the sim, that pull to adjust pedal?
Yeah.
That you can actually do that?
Did not know that either.
Dude, that's what I'm saying.
Was that it?
I don't know what. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
But now their actual runners are but once I let it go, like the rudders are disconnected. Alright, if you all set them down. Gonna breathe down. You can like that's like not the boarding fools. GSX, get your stuff together.
You just take it on what, another 2,000 or 3,000 gallons of fuel or pounds of fuel?
I gotta figure out the binding issue first.
Oh, I thought that's what I thought that's what it was.
So it does do it, but it just moves it back and forth. But what it's only doing is just an animation, but it centers it up. That's why I thought it was fixed.
Oh.
That's hilarious. GSX is gonna reboard. So funny. GSX is gonna reboard all my people, and I'm gonna have to reboard it. Oh boy.
That's why I just disconnect and restart GSX and tell GSX to just be there when I need you to push back.
Yeah. Controls.
Now all that cloud cover moved in something fierce over New York and New Jersey. Because it's solid cloud cover underneath us.
Oh, he's gonna crash. Oh.
Somebody landing at Kennedy.
Oh yeah. Well, he was supposed to. Oh yeah. Either he's taking off or he went to rotate. Tail strike, bounced, and it went up. Oh yeah. That's pretty funny. Let's see, rudder issue. 5-second rudder. Yeah. 2. Yeah, so now it's showing a hard right rudder. That's so dumb. Oh, looks like you get to enjoy the good old fashioned flight today.
You'll figure out the binding.
Not this quick.
Well, shouldn't you be able to just click keyboard and then hit search by input and see what's pressing? Because you said it's actively being pressed or activating. So I imagine it's your rudder trim. Look down at your center pedestal and look at your rudder trim readout.
Nope, it's 0. I checked that first. That was the first thing I checked.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we're off the coast of New Jersey. About 10 miles, 15 miles. Let's throw the weather up on the overlay and see what the weather looks like.
I'm gonna have to reset it. I truly don't understand why.
Interesting. All right, so we're not
Sure,
getting
let
any
them
weather
know.
radar for Bermuda, but we can keep an eye on the weather update. 250 at 8. Visibility is clear. View at 1500, scattered at 17,000, broken at 23. All right, so the weather is continuing to improve. That's good. Can you imagine trying to land in the weather that existed last night in Bermuda?
Oh, that would have been impossible. Super impossible.
That's one of those things where you really, really got to look at the TAF and pray to God that the TAF is going to be accurate when you do these flights, because they're going out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I needed a reset. Now I gotta hurry this up. I gotta ask this guy for a whole nother thing. Ooh, nope, he's not even on. That's fine. It was like on 109.1, I think it was. Yeah.
So you're still trying to figure it out, or did you figure it out?
I figured it out. I just reset
Okay.
it, and it's working now.
Okay, good.
Kenny Tower, American 3210. Can we keep the same clearance from before we had to do a reconnect for binding issues? and not pee out. Trinity Tower, American 3210. We're back at the gate. We had to do a restart because of some binding issue. Can we keep you same? Clear?
We're gonna jump back in the cockpit though now, see what our plane is doing. Bugger heading to the heading we're directing.
It's about to get super busy.
Like last night, busy?
Yeah. But JFK level. JFK
But at least we
level
have
busy.
enough, we have enough spacing this time.
Oh yeah, we got about like 6 hours of spacing right now.
No, we'll be about, what, 30, 40 minutes apart. All right, we're coming up. What's our next waypoint? Let's do a fuel check. Wait up. What up? That's interesting. So New York airspace, and there's a waypoint called What Up? WHTUP. 17.4 on the fuel, and we're at 19.4, so we're 2,000. We're exactly 2,000 pounds. That's why we take the extra fuel. So we're actually 2,000 over what we planned. Perfect. With 34,000, climbing up to 370.
For some odd reason, it doesn't want to read my flaps. Bindings.
I thought we had everything figured out. What is that, Phoenix or FS Labs?
No, this is Phoenix, but it's the throttle tech. There's some noise going on in the like it's not telling me a true flap 0 right now, so it's kind of like being retarded on it. It's getting me. It's not reading flap 4.
Well, chat, I do believe we reached a point of no return. That turn turns us south. Yep, southeast.
Dude, I am 51 minutes behind.
How did you calculate that?
What happened?
How did you calculate that you're 51 minutes behind?
So when I did my sun brief, I put a departure time that I wanted.
Oh, okay. You're 51 minutes behind your departure time that you had set.
Yeah, typical JFK traffic thing. American 3210, we're back at the gate. Can we keep the same routing for American 3210? Oh, great. 121.9. Great. Gotta love it.
What happened?
Brown just came on.
Oh, sweet. I feel like this should be the song as we descend into Bermuda. I'll have to add this to my playlist to play again.
All right, so we'll keep everything the same, and then we'll contact ground when we're ready to taxi over holding short of Alpha for American 3210. We'll see you in a few. Hey, there you go. Some real world ops right there, bro.
Here's somebody else
Turn
on the
back
way
the gate.
to Bermuda. Bermuda has 5 arrivals right now. You, me, somebody else from Tango Foxtrot, Foxtrot, Foxtrot. 2 people from Tango Foxtrot, Foxtrot, Foxtrot. And then
Jeez,
somebody
I may have
from
this
Mike
Sunset
Delta
Landing
Sierra
one.
Delta.
I said, with the way things are going with me right now, I might just have that sunset landing.
We gotta get ahead of that weather so we don't have to.
Yeah, it's pushing into JFK right now.
Yep, I'm watching it on radar. Coming in from the southwest.
Yep.
Let's see if we can see the jet that's going to be passing us on our right. 2,000 feet above, so it may be difficult to see. But we've got an American 777 coming from Buenos Aires to Kennedy. That's a long flight.
Ooh-wee.
How long of a flight? Oh, we just connected. So I don't know how long of a flight that is, but 4,500 nautical mile flight.
You can have that.
That's got to be like a 13-hour flight.
And you can have all of that.
I don't understand how that. Like in real world, I don't understand how people could do these 13, 14-hour flights.
I mean, they definitely go to bed. All right, pray to God we have this nice smooth flight. Let's go. Come on.
That's a 10-hour flight. 10 hours, 20 minutes block time from Buenos Aires to Kennedy.
Buenos Aires?
Yeah, Buenos
Is that
Aires.
South America?
Yep.
All that should still be the same. We'll start the AQ. The beacon light on, off the switch.
Should be directly overhead. at our 3 o'clock, 2,000 feet above. No, he's probably just outside of visual range because it looks to be about 10, maybe 15 miles. Let's jump in. Let's see if he picks up on TCAS. Yep. Yeah, he's 20 miles, like 25 miles. No, outside of visual range. Oh well.
Alright. Don't let that fluster me. Don't let that fluster me. Alright. This should all be normal. 1.2. Yes, sir. Yep.
No, so I should be landing at 12:11 p.m. I was just looking down here at the box. 12:11 or 1600 Zulu to with our time, it would be 12:11.
So just in time for you.
You had to leave?
Who, you? Me? Or you, dude? Oh.
For me, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of which, let me see if the weather's updated for today. Airports. One 3085 and such a miles clear. Nope, it's gonna be just partly cloudy the whole afternoon. Cool.
All right, let's go GSX. Don't give me problems now. Let's get this over with. One thing I will say about 2024, it has a lot of promise. Like, I would say, obviously, 2020 had a better release, but then when you know, put some politics, what we call game politics in there, things get a little funky.
I mean, this is true, but I don't think 2020's release maybe a little bit better, but 2020, even when they released 2020, it still took, what, a year and a half to get really, really kind of stable?
Yeah, it waited for me to get the patience. I had to develop the patience, so it took me 2 years to have the patience to actually get into Microsoft 2020. So, in my defense,
I'm an early adopter of 2024, so yeah, no, I got you. But
yeah, I gotta go with the growing pains now, I guess.
I will say that the update cadence for 2024 is a lot slower than 2020.
Yeah.
Because we typically had a sim update pretty much every month for the first couple of months.
Just about, yeah. You ever had that feeling when you rushed out and you feel like you're forgetting something?
All the time. Case in point, I texted you and asked if I left my sunglasses at your place.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I've never done that before, but I realized that I took my sunglasses off when I was doing VR and I set them down and I forgot about them.
Yeah. So what'd you think about VR though?
Like I said, I think it's amazing. It's definitely that ups the ante for immersion. I just don't know how long I'm going to be able to wear it before I have to take it off.
Yeah, it's hard for me to go back. I'm sure it's hard.
But the other thing is I'm used to staring, so like for me right now, I'm staring at a TV, a 55-inch TV.
Also, yeah,
and
so
I'm
you
used
get
to
a good
the finer picture quality. Yeah. And that's the other thing that I'd have to get used to is just the quality is not as sharp.
I forgot to change my my IPD back.
Your what?
The IPD. From when you were flying it, I had the IPD down.
Oh, sorry.
I was like, why does everything feel so... Oh yeah, it's from over the runway now. Yeah, it's full. It's right over the runway right now. I'm gonna have
What weather?
Yeah, but the rudders are good now, so starting to parking brakes released. Starting.
Majority of the significant weather is to your southwest, than southern Jersey.
Yeah. Right now it's over the departure end, what I'm looking at. The Phoenix knows how to get me back in a good mood with those sounds, man.
The Phoenix puts a smile on everybody's face.
Oh yeah.
All right, chat. If you are just joining and you're not very familiar with Vatsim or flight simulation, figured I'd introduce you to a website called vatsimradar.com. It's kind of like FlightAware for Vatsim. So the virtual air traffic simulation network. And what it is a virtual network that spans the entire, not just the United States, but it spans all of the world. So you've got Europe, which is pretty much on fire right now with controllers and aircraft. And then you even have what, Japan, China. Oh, wait,
there's a lot of heavies out of here right now.
You got what, Thailand, India. So a whole lot of places that are doing ATC right now and a whole lot of people that are flying. So technically right now as it stands, 2,016 connections, 1,370 within Vatsim radar coverage. There's 1,800 pilots on the network and 151 air traffic controllers, all simulating pretty much world flight. And this is what the United States looks like right now. The green shaded area is what's called the center controller. This is controlled airspace. So if we were flying in Denver's airspace, we'd be talking to the Denver center controller on the frequency. We're out here going to Bermuda. There's no ATC out here, so we're just flying solo on the network. But you can click other aircraft as well, see what their distance is, how their performance is, that type of thing, their routing, any remarks that they add to their flight plan. So this is the other guy that's going to Bermuda, and he's holding a, he's doing a hold currently. So don't know what for, because the weather at Bermuda is VFR unless it's recently changed. So we can go down here, click the METAR, and it changed again. That would be why. So now we have few 2000 TCU, which is towering cumulus, which means those are thunderstorm or growing, maturing cumulus clouds that will eventually mature into thunderstorms. Scattered at 16,000, broken at 21,000, broken at 24,000. QNH remains the same, temperatures 2.8. Visibility is still good, but it is now raining in Bermuda. I wonder what he's holding, and he's done a couple laps around the pattern, or around the what is that, a published hold on the Popham? Yep, Popham one. Let's see if we can spot DJ on the ground at Kennedy. There you are. Taxiing on Bravo. We're departing 22, right?
Yeah. Control checks was good this time.
A whole bunch of departures out of Kennedy right now.
Oh yeah, I told you.
There's 4 people going to London Heathrow. Somebody's going to Newark. Somebody doesn't have a flight plan file, and then there's you going to Bermuda.
Yeah, it's some weather over Newark right now, for sure. I can see it better now. Got the Southwest taxi out of this thing. Goodness. I'm ready to get in the air.
Princess Juliana's got ATC right now. And he's live on Twitch. That's pretty cool.
Who knows, that might be our next tropical destination.
Who knows? I'm thinking either Princess Juliana or Jamaica.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
maybe we'll
those
go down
would
the
be great.
Trinidad and Tobago.
Ooh.
Go down to Trinidad. That's gonna be a long flight though. That'd be a long haul, because that's a lot longer than Princess Juliana, and that's 3 hours from Miami. That's what, about 3.5, 4 hours for Trinidad. I'm thinking we'll do Trinidad next.
We'll follow behind the Speedbird left to right for American 3210.
Anyways, we'll move this back over here. Let's jump in the cockpit and see what our plane is doing. Hopefully it's doing plane things. And it is 37,000. Ground speed is 498. We got a nice stiff tailwind at 39 knots. Perfect. Cruising us right along.
Oh, thank you, Speedbird. You sped your taxi up. Thank you very much. Oh, I love the model matching in this.
All right, next fuel check. It's Kiner. 89 miles to Kiner. Kinner,
After crossing Monotone Tower for
14.5, we're at 17.7.
Have a good one.
Okay. We're good on fuel still.
Go for American 3210. All right, we'll make it right here on Echo Echo for American 3210. 109.1, have a good one.
Are you gonna 0.81 it?
We're
The whole
American
way?
3210. We're just going 22 right at Echo Echo. Ready to go. Two right, Echo Echo, clear for takeoff for American 3210.
DJ, did you hear me?
Say again? What did you say?
I said, are you going to 0.18 it? Or 0.81 it? Sorry.
Probably. Stabilize. Man, flight 68, SRS, climb, runway nav, autothrottle is blue. Aliens. P1. That was great. Hero.
I don't want to jinx you, but I just had a really bad thought when I was hearing you say rotate. Get a compressor stall, engine fire on rotation, then you'd just be like the icing on the cake.
Oh, dude, that would be the end of like life as we know it to it. Fly runway heading and frequency change approved. Thanks for the agency. Have a good one. As a matter of fact, I don't think I've had have I had a compressor stall? I don't think so.
Not yet.
Not yet. Knock on wood.
Yeah, I was about to say you better knock on some wood so that way you don't have to worry about it.
Oh yeah, it's bumpy, dude.
It wasn't that bad. For me anyway, on the climb out. It was a little bit, but it wasn't terrible.
Thank you, Phoenix. Auto throttle wasn't on for some odd reason. It turned itself off. And I'm at 269. Under 12,000. Good thing we're taking off over the water. Brains heaven.
Yeah, much better. I don't know. I keep on watching videos of this Cessna 406.
Me too, bro. Me too. I don't know what it is that's like attracting me to it. I'm like, if I buy it, I'm definitely gonna like buy it maybe once or twice, but I'm always in the tube, so it's kind of hard to say that, you know, I'll get, you know, some good money out of it.
I like it because it kind of looks like a King Air.
Yeah.
Like a baby King Air.
Oh, 515.
15,000, landing like coming off. Excel. Remember when I said I thought I was forgetting something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely forgot something.
What'd you forget this time?
Well, my cost index.
You don't need a cost index. Just put 99. Burn all the dino juice you can. Hey, look at that. At least you are airborne and on your way.
Finally.
What's your ETA to landing in Bermuda?
Let me see. Progress.
What time? Like 17?
Around 17, yeah. Just around, like it says, just under 16, but 17, yeah. I might take it to 8-1. I gotta do some calculations on the fuel.
Did you take any extra?
Yes. I did 1,000, but that was kind of a long APU run up, so we'll see. Actually, no, I should be good because I added after I did the restart, so yeah.
Okay. Alright, sun pumps are dry.
Oh, boy.
We've got 17,000 left. Oh, plenty of fuel.
Yeah, I gotta get a Logitech radio panel. Because in VR, that's the one thing I will say is kind of annoying because it keeps switching back. Well, it's definitely a Microsoft and a Phoenix thing where it's if I switch over to comms 2 and to be able to talk to comms 2, randomly it'll switch over to back to comms 1 and I won't even know. And then I have to lean over in VR to change, the frequency, and then you're kind of blocked by the trim wheel. So you're like leaning all the way to the left. So I would definitely recommend myself getting some, good communication panels. Matter of fact, isn't Windwing coming out with one? Or no? I don't think it was the comms panel.
There was one, yeah. There was a couple that during FS Expo that they debuted. I just don't know there's an ETA on them. And I think it was a transponder was one of them that I saw.
Yeah, I saw that part. Yeah.
So more than likely, I think they also have a radio panel coming. Wingflex has got the RMP for Airbus.
So
we can start kind of gandering at what we're going to be doing when we land in Bermuda.
That's kind of crazy. I guess you won the race right off the ground.
What happened?
I said that's crazy. You won the race right off the ground. I didn't make it off at first.
It's okay. I'll leave a bunch of grease on the runway for you.
I gotta beat that last landing rig you had.
Yeah, +3. We'll shoot for a 150 to 200, just go around. Nice, stable, and safe landing. That's what matters the most.
Oh, me and Airbus 319, yeah. We're gonna get the truck rolling early.
What's the VOR 113.9er? Okay. So we're going to change 113 so we can start picking up the VOR when we get close enough. And then I'll do this 109.90 for the ILS.
Looking for you on the radar.
3.9er for the VOR. We'll switch that over and we'll switch to ILS. Boom. Perfect.
Got a half hour left to go already? There's no way.
Me, I have... Yep.
38 minutes. Yeah.
Yep.
307. Yep. Oh, man.
Here we go. We're getting close to Bermuda and the music's starting to change. I like it.
look at mine, it says an hour and 24. Not bad, not bad.
Yeah, so you're landing at 12:45.
Yeah. 16:44.
Bravo Delta Alpha is the identifier for Bermuda. 113.9er. Alright, that's set. We'll see how far out we'll pick up the Bermuda VOR. We're at 37. We should probably, if it's one of the newer ones. Yep, with the H here. So this is a newer VOR high. So we should be able to pick it up 130 nautical miles away.
That was another thing I was getting on the Neo the other day. The GPS, what's that thing called? The GPS, what was it called?
Jamming?
Jamming, there you go. GPS jamming. I was getting that on the Neo when I was trying to land in Phoenix.
How are you getting GPS jamming in Phoenix?
I didn't know. They said it on the screen, and I was like, wow, okay.
Interesting. I've heard that there's some GPS jamming that happens in the upper, Michigan area, near Chicago.
Yeah.
Lake Superior area, but I didn't know that there was anything like that was happening in Phoenix.
I take that back. It was like a little out of Denver. Like a little past Denver.
That I could understand because of the giant Space Force base that's there in Denver.
Yeah.
Completely can understand that one.
So it wasn't Phoenix, it was Denver. How fast will it let me go? Can we go to... Let me try cruising at. It had me at 7.9. I'll try to get 8.0, 8.1.
Alright, we're 174 nautical miles from top of drop. If it's configured correctly, let's take a look at our arrival. The Mom 1. Mom 1. Okay. And we're coming from Bovik. So Momom at or above 12,000. Capel 50. So 4-3. So above, no hard altitudes, just at or above. So let's go here. Momom at or above 12,000, at or above 4, and at or above 3 at 50. Cool. Alright, so that's all programmed correctly. Bring up the ILS chart again. 50. Zacer.
That's pretty cool. It showed me my
3,000. Okay.
53-minute delay. I got a message about that. That's pretty cool.
Final approach. Expect ship's mast up to 280 feet. That's some big ships. Max 210 knots for all turns. So remember at 50, your airspeed's 210.
Yep, I got it in there already.
Okay, good. Oh, sorry. You stretch it
You
out.
plan for 3-0?
Yeah. The winds are out of the west.
Oh, game.
All right. Minimum safe altitude 1,500 feet, 25 nautical miles of the BDA VOR, the Bermuda VOR. ILS Yankee. We got our frequency, final approach courses are already programmed in there. Glide slope intercept is 4.6 from the, or 4.6 DME from the localizer. 1,481. Decision altitude is 254, so 304. We'll switch this to Barrow. There we go. We'll do 304. I wish we could just type in our Barrow versus having to use this spinny wheel. Especially when you're landing like Denver or Atlanta. Man, that must be a world being about to spin this thing.
Yeah, me yesterday. Get that Southwest off the runway.
All right, and we don't have any other problems. Generators are working. Boom. We'll leave it on Gen 1 for now.
Like that real world feeling of having to return to the gate because not all flights are going to get off the ground, right away. Like, I kind of like that. I guess Phoenix decided to throw me a curve.
That's just the thing.
I'm just going to chalk it up to that.
Well, I mean, that's just the thing. You never know what you're going to get.
A binding issue. Yeah. Because it's funny because it was fine on the taxi when I did my before the taxi when I did my controls check, but as soon as I went to hold short, my rudders were jammed to the right, and I think I finally broke the rest of the throttle tech. Yeah, either I'm gonna have to redo the calibration of the flaps because I'm not getting flaps on when I use it.
Or the sensor itself is gone.
And right now, nobody has the, besides Wind Wings coming out with that one, and then Wingflex is coming out with theirs, but I don't see me waiting that long, waiting for one of those to come out.
So what? You're gonna get the Thrustmaster if that ends up quitting?
No. It's not that okay. So it's like VR for me. It's like once you try VR, you really can't go back to 2D like Pancake unless it's a huge problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing for me with gear. It's like I use the Wind Wing now, the Ursa Minor, and I cannot go back to the TCA. It's like once you upgrade to downgrade, it has to be a major like emergency. Like I'm in the middle of the flight, I need to change out. That's the only way I'll go back to the TCA. And it's nothing against Thrustmaster. Everybody has their price point for what they need in the sim. It's just that once you start going into like the upper levels of gear, you don't want to go back. It's like getting in their rudder pedals. You get those what's the real fancy $600 ones.
Yeah, the TPRs.
You don't want to go back to the what's the other ones? The ones that are really
the TFRPs.
TFRPs. Yep, I had that. And then now I have the Turtle Beaches. The next would definitely be the higher up ones, but it's like I don't want to put it into rudders just yet because there's nothing wrong with the ones I have. So I won't upgrade that until it's a must upgrade. I mean, yeah, I would love to have something that expensive like in the rig right now, but I'd rather put it towards some more scenery, some more aircraft, maybe a new headset. But right now, the Quest 3 is running right now really well for me. Like I'm running at 38 FPS in VR, but go figure. I'm over water, but I really had no stutters in JFK. Surprisingly, with the latest tweaks that we did.
Yep,
so it's been pretty clean so far. So.
I mean, that's all you really need in your VR headset. That's all you really need is 30 FPS or better, or just slightly better than that, which is what you got.
Yeah, and it's running very smooth.
Yep.
Even in JFK with a bunch of Vatsim heavies on right now, so it's like, yeah, I'm happy with that. But when it comes to like throttles, I need throttles. I need to get me a communications panel. I may expand on the glare shield, like the one you have with the Wingflex. I may upgrade to that for sure. Like, it's just hard because the way I fly, I can't just have one particular for all. I'm the guy that has to have a Boeing setup, an Airbus setup, an Embraer setup, a CRJ setup. I have to have all of that. So when I say broke, I'm broke.
We need to create a bumper sticker. I'm broke because I'm a flight simmer.
Oh man, yeah. You put me in X-Plane 11. I was broke before that because and then went into X-Plane 11. Almost leveraged the house. You know, Microsoft 2020. I almost gave away a limb. 2024, brain cells started going. Yeah. Actually, I think 2024.
That's a new merch idea. We'll start selling a line of bumper stickers.
I think 2024 kind of renewed my passion for flight simming. I mean, because, you know, real world flying, getting ready for the 121 world, it kind of drains you out, you know.
Yeah.
And I started to realize, like, I started getting into aviation sickness of, like, I don't want to do it. You know, I got off of that sim because, you know, I got tired of, there's a little bit of toxicity in there. But I learned the patience. You know, with kids, you got to have patience. So,
yep.
Here I am because of you, back on Vatsim.
You're welcome.
I mean, and here's the thing too, and here's like the pros and cons of each sim. You know, with X-Plane 11, I can fly offline and just use like a Beyond ATC or, you know, something like that, like an AI, ATC.
Mm-hmm.
But when like 2024, where you have to have internet to run, it becomes, you know, if you're using it, you might as well go with Vatsim. You know, you might as well, because last night kind of showed it. Like, you know, you're not gonna get, you know, a smooth A to B every single time. And even though you get to, like, let's say the numbers, where you're right over the numbers, you may have a plane slow getting off the runway. You know, and then you have to go around.
What are you trying to say? He told me to take the high speed off the right side, so I took the high speed off the right side, which was further on down the runway than the taxiway that I was slowing down to turn to. So my defense, the tower was screwed up with that. That wasn't my bad.
Well, I wouldn't even say tower. You know, I would even say approach. You know, but you know, and that's real world stuff. Like even real world ATC doesn't get it like all the time. I mean, I've come in behind a bunch of CRJs where it's like, oh, you know, wow, like he turned us in this quick. We're a bigger plane, blah blah blah. You know, so we plan for a go around, and that's why you kind of stay ahead of the plane so that stuff doesn't happen. But I was prepared for it. I was already going, you know, toga and the climb, like as he was saying, go around. I already made the decision I was going to go around because I needed that to turn off. So, you know. So, I mean, and that's how it is in the real world, you know.
Yep.
So that's
you
where
could be on short final and somebody crosses the runway right in front of you.
Yep. And that's where Vatsim will definitely give it to you. You know, when it's real world like feeling, it definitely like increases your immersion like tenfold, 100%. And I enjoyed that part. Even to go around. I mean, I had to go around like and go behind 4 other, you know, arriving aircraft, but it kind of like helped me set up. And you know, and like I said before, with VR, if you're not comfortable, like things get really out of hand really fast. Like especially on a go around where you can't just engage autothrottles and autopilot like immediately. You kind of have to fly the plane, you know, do exactly what you need to do, you know, within limits. And you may not get, you know, a smooth like feel, but when you're ahead of the plane, you kind of like already like going to where you need to go. You know, if you have the good aviation skills, you're gonna be able to fly the aircraft first. You know, don't rely 100% on automation to do it. You got to be able to do it, you know, hand flying.
That's
like,
why I
used to
recommend
fly 10,000 all the way in hand fly.
Yep, hand fly it at 10,000 or when you're climbing out, and from 10,000 down if you can.
Yep.
Unless you're an IMC, you know, the thing that I would say is that use your autopilot to lessen your workload. You know, single pilot resource, we talk about it in real world aviation training. Single pilot resource, autopilot is your friend. It's not that you can't fly the plane. You are just offloading a set of skills and workload to the plane and the autopilot to be able for you to stay 3-4 steps ahead of the plane. You know,
and for those flying in real world that have that, you know, with the autopilot, I would always say if you're first starting out and you're private pilot, no, don't touch it. Learn how to use it for sure. Yep. But don't use it. You know what I mean? Unless you're in cruise and, you know, you really need to, zero back in. But in private pilot, you're going to want to hand fly as much as you can, because that's going to take a lot of the pressure off in IFR. When you can use the autopilot, I would say definitely use the autopilot in IFR training, because, I mean, honestly, you're mostly just sitting there and cruise anyway. But, understand how it works in PPL and then start implementing it in your IFR. And then when you go back to your commercial training, getting used to, like, hand flying again get used to flying the numbers. Don't accept just because you have in private pilot, 100 feet to 200 feet of a buffer, on your maneuvers. Hold yourself to a tighter standard. Have that buffer, but hold yourself to a tighter standard. In private pilot, when I first started out, I would, in the beginning, like the first flight, I'm not gonna lie, I was scared to stall the airplane to a full buffer. And, I just didn't like the feeling of nosing over. But, as you got used to it and realizing the plane is not trying to, kill you. It's more of you, you'll do something bad to yourself before the plane does it. And there are some instances where it was like, unseeable like events, but, the plane wants to fly. And as long as you, keep coordinated, you're gonna fly.
Yep.
So like in IFR, when you're inside of a cloud and you don't have no visual references, you're gonna need that that autopilot to definitely keep you, ahead of the plane. So most flight instructors don't like the use of autopilot because it does degrade the pilot skills. And in commercial, you kind of have to go back and relearn it, but just hold yourself to a higher standard. So that way, when you do get to commercial, it's a nice transition.
The harder problem is that spatial disorientation that you get.
Oh, yes. I definitely remember my first time in a cloud, and it was in IFR, as a matter of fact. The instructor goes, "Hey, have you ever been through a cloud?" I said, "No." And the first time we went through it, I tried to identify all the, spatial disorientation, like the illusions that you will.
The optical illusions. Yep.
Yeah. And I realized really quick, I was like, yeah, you don't want to fly this with looking outside. You don't want to fly by the, what they call flying by the seat of your pants. You don't want to do that.
Nope.
That stuff gets real dangerous really quick.
Yep. And we're always, for the most part, at private pilot, you learn to trust your eyesight. You learn to trust the visual component of flying. And then in IFR, you got to completely take what you learned, and while you're not throwing it away, you have to pretty much put it on pause, because in IFR land, it's all about what you see on the inside of your plane instead of outside.
Fly the numbers. You got to fly the numbers.
Actually, when I fly IFR in real life, I actually lean forward to actually, as if I'm wearing the hood, I actually lean a little bit forward towards my instruments to keep my brain focused on what I'm staring at. So that way I'm not finding myself looking outside, getting into a point where I'm spatially disoriented or anything like that. So
I don't know how most instructors feel about this, but even though I was signed off in IFR, after I got my instrument rating a long time ago, what I realized is even if you're not in training environments, take your foggles. I mean, if you file IFR or you're getting flight following and you don't feel comfortable really going through a cloud looking outside, take your foggles. Because it'll kind of zero you into where you need to be, and it'll make you kind of zone in on those numbers in the first place.
Yep.
So you won't really be caught off guard
if you're
by
wearing the foggles, you have to add the disclaimer. If you're wearing the foggles, you better have a safety pilot with you.
Oh, yes. 100%. 100%.
Better have a safety pilot with you.
In my defense, I didn't choose the CFI route. And most of the time, I'm obviously when I'm flying, two people in a cockpit. So,
true.
But you never know who you're flying with. So always, double check your partner, double check the pilot. And that's another thing I want to bring up. Don't complain about the plane. It's gonna do things, but you're most likely doing something to upset it. Don't be quick to press buttons. Learn the avionics system. Learn your communications panel. Learn how to use it. I will say this, in a VFR, and I think I said this to you a little bit ago, but when you're VFR flying, I don't look outside too much. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. If I'm on a normal cross country, I'm relaxed. Mm-hmm. I'm flying the numbers. I'm identify, verifying, execute. That's it. That's it. I'm holding altitude, airspeed's good, and I'm heading the right way. That's really the big thing. I'll fly a 6-pack all day in VFR. IFR, and this is where my agreeing with a lot of these, like I'll say, like a lot of the old school instructors. You know, you need to fly a 6-pack. It makes you a better pilot, 100%. But I'm not dealing with that, you know, overload feeling in the plane. I'm not. You know, extra steps means, you know, less time that you have to be safe. Like, if something goes wrong, you need to be able to transition faster. And that's one thing I couldn't do early on in my career. I couldn't, you know, transition very fast with 6-pack. So once I got the, you know, the beautiful planes at our old flight school, I was glass happy. And I don't care. I do have the right to be picky because I want to be safe and I want to have less stuff on my plate to deal with an already dangerous situation of flying, because we were, in a way, not meant to fly. We just figured out how to do it safely, you know?
That is the absolute truth. Amen to that. Like, that's the absolute truth. We were not made to fly. We figured it out.
Yeah. and unfortunately, we learned lessons with, you know, incidents and accidents.
Yep.
You know, so that leads me to the next thing. Follow the rules. Do a pre-flight. Do your briefings, because the more you know before you go, the less you have to prepare for en route. You know, and even in your cruise, prepare for something abnormal. Always have an alternate. Even if you don't think you need one because of the weather, just choose it. You know, you may have it. And when you're planning your route, choose, you know, a route that's going to give you options to land. I always choose something in front of me, to the left and right of me, depending on obviously terrain, and always one behind me, not too far back, because I want to be able to turn around. Like, say if you in a GA aircraft, a small GA aircraft where you got to switch tanks a lot, you know, you're going to want to have to, you know, like, usually when mechanical parts fail in transitions from left to right tank, you can get a failure, you know, because something might be clogged up in that other tank. And if you get a engine failure when you're switching tanks and you can't restart it, you're gonna want to have that, you know, that alternate to your left and right, or behind you or in front of you, to say, hey, I know I can make it there. And always keep an eye out. Don't land on somebody's house. They will raise the minimum again. I'm already annoyed at 1,500, but it's like, you know, I mean, I'm one of the blessed few that didn't have to deal with 1,500, but it's like, yeah, like, I'm just, man, don't land on a house and don't hit anything, because it makes it worse for everybody else. And then, I mean, you know, not just for everybody else, but it's more dangerous for you, because if you hit something, you might not make it. You know, that's just the truth behind it. So be prepared before you go, always.
Yep. That's why we do our briefs. We do it here on the channel. We do our departure briefs. We do all the little mini briefs that we've done. Which leads me right into the briefing that we're going to be doing for our arrival, since we're at our top of descent.
Yay!
Just love how that flows right into it, right? And we've been kind of looking at it beforehand, but here we're at David. My mom at or above 12,000, and then Capel at 4, and 210 at 3,000. So we have all that programmed in there, so we're good. We'll look here, landing runway 30, track to BIVD, comply with restrictions after BIVD, execute the ILS Zulu or ORNA. Oh, this is for lost comms. All right, so this is what we have to prepare for. You know, in your briefing, this is the lost comms procedure. If unable, execute the missed approach to Wienen and hold as published, maintain 3,000 if you lose comms. So we'll go over to our approach chart. ILS Yankee is the one we're going to be doing. Here's the published missed. It's a right turn, so normal standard turns on your hold, and we're going directly at the fix, which means we would do a parallel entry, turn into the hold and the protected side of the hold to intercept point in again, and then we would hold 3,000 feet, pre-cut off of speed, and then we would get ready, and then we would execute the ILS Zulu if we have any problems based on the previous chart that exists. All right. So
that's
here,
another talking point. When to choose a Yankee and a Zulu? I mean, usually you get assigned those things, but
yeah,
we definitely deep dive in the next stream to, like, what are we looking for? Like, when we have to choose it when there's no ATC.
Yep. Which one's the better one of the two? Essentially, it's RMP. You're looking for you're looking to make sure your approach is an RMP, because RMP is specific required navigation performance. So most of the time you have to be in an airplane that can do that particular procedure and is authorized to do it.
Yep.
So this is an RNP, this is an ILS, so we don't have to worry about required navigation performance when it comes to that part. But for here, this is all DMEs. So we have one waypoint called Zasser, and then everything else is DMEs down to the runway. So Zasser is 15.2 from the localizer. Then our next would be our step down waypoint if we were to do our step downs, is 9.6, 10.7 deep, or from the localizer, or 9.6 from the localizer, 10.7 from the Bermuda VOR. And then we would descend to 1500. We would hold 1500 till we get to 4.6 DME from the localizer. And then it's a 3-degree glide slope continuous, so about 750 feet per minute. And we should be intersecting glide slope at 1,481 feet. That's what that Maltese cross is. And we'll glide it on down. We'll get to minimums, which is 304. If we don't see the runway, we'll go around. Well, not go around, we'll go missed approach. And then we would climb out runway heading based on this chart. Runway heading 3000, outbound 297 radial to Weenan. So ALSIF 1 is the approach lighting that we should see on our approach. Pappies will be on the left for the runway. That's what this is depicting on this side. And we're 254 mins plus 50 feet, which is an airline SOP thing.
Yep. Ooh, which brings me to another idea. When you get on Vatsim, just because you have it doesn't mean you know how to use it. Back to that whole thing of learning how to use it. Learn how to read the charts.
Yep.
Learn exactly what it's asking, what it's showing on you on the charts. So that way, if the ACC gives you, something that you're not used to, you know at least how to read the chart. So you can follow along. Because they're not going to do anything non-standard. But usually when it's non-standard, they're vectoring you around anyway. Learn how to read the charts, learn all the symbology. Oh yeah.
And they'll let you know ahead of time. If you're not going to shoot the normal missed approach, they'll give you alternate approach instructions. So.
Wish I had the cool music to cruise here too.
Just turn the stream on. I'm playing music right now. All right, we're 30,000. So I reset our MCP altitude before we start briefly approach to 12. So our plane's VNAV kicked in. We're descending 29,600 across Mamam at or above 12,000. We'll continue on a descent on down to 4. So I'm going to take this to 10 to make sure that we don't overspeed, because we're going to be 250 and 10. And then I need to switch the barrel from inches of mercury to hectopascals, I think is what it's.
Yep.
Yeah. And I'm going to go ahead and do this. 1012. Let's go ahead and grab the latest weather information of Bermuda. Oh, it don't look pretty.
Don't say that. No,
I mean,
say that. I love the challenge.
I mean, visibility is fine, but it just released it. Oh, I'm looking at the TAF. Sorry. Visibility is fine. It's raining. Towering cumulus clouds at 2,000 feet. Scattered at 16. Broken at 21,000. Broken at 24,000.
I see something completely different.
260 at 7.
Yeah. 999.
Yeah, visibility is
showers.
fine.
Q at 2. Towering cumulus clouds.
It's funny.
Scattered at 16. Broken at 21. Broken at 24.
Yep.
28 and 1020. Yep.
It was what the other day for the very first time I saw TCU on a METAR and had no idea what it was. And then we look at it, and every single flight that I've done since, in the virtual sense, has had TCU in the METAR, and I'm like, go figure.
And no matter where you are in your training, you can always look something up, because nobody is going to remember everything.
CTAF for Bermuda is 122.8. So we're good there. So 1020, and we'll switch this to hectopascals. 27. We'll throw out some speed brakes for speeding a little bit.
Nice, you're 9 minutes out. Must be 9. I'm 45 minutes out. I sped up.
Nice.
Got a little bit of wiggle room, but I may have to cut it short on the speed for
Fuel.
Wow. Yeah. I gotta calculate that.
All right, I'm gonna go off comms for just a second. Be right back.
Yep.
All right. I'll stow the speed brakes. What's our transition altitude out here for Bermuda? 18,000. Okay.
Good thing you said that. I literally was getting ready to, because you said HPA,
Mm-hmm.
and I said, wait a minute. Oh yeah, things change when you leave the U.S.
Mm-hmm. Let's see what other traffic, because I knew there was somebody out Bermuda. Did he finally land? Okay, it looks like he finally landed. All right, so we're out here pretty much alone right now. You made up some good time. Look at you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's that. My math is mathing right now.
All right. Throw some more speed brakes out.
That 33 knot tailwind is definitely helping.
Oh, it definitely, yep, 100% definitely helped. All right, and 1020 set once, twice, and 3 times. Those are good. Speed, we're good. We're descending 17.6 for cross Capel at or above 4,000. So we'll keep the speed brakes out just so we keep our descent on down. I see the green, I call it the green eyebrow. That's for 10,000. So we'll be right on cue.
Eyebrow
right, so
means to look up at your light.
Well, I mean, that's what it resembles. I call it the green eyebrow because it's exactly what it looks like. It's an eyebrow. But that represents where we're going to be at when we reach our determined altitude based on the VNAV calculations that it's currently doing. All right, we're slowing down. Speed brakes can go back. And we're on 122.8. Yep. There's no ATC out here. We're 40 miles out. We'll give our traffic calls out when we get to 30. Missed approach, as we briefed, is set in the FMC. So we should be good. Here's the clouds. It's over Bermuda now. We're coming up to them. All right, what's your prediction for my landing rate? What do you got?
210 or less.
You can't say or less. This is not like gotta give me, I give you specific numbers. Like for you, I'm gonna give you a landing rate. Based on the weather and the wind, I'm gonna give you a landing rate of like 189, 190.
I'll say 195, 198.
Oh, okay. Chat, feel free to put what you think our landing rate is going to be into Bermuda. You can put it in the chat. I don't have the bot that automatically like assigns a winner, but we'll see who's close. We're coming up on 13, so that means the music is going down, and we're coming up on approach, so we'll enjoy the sim sounds from here on down. We're going to level change it, get us slowing down, because we're coming up at 11.9. We need to be 250 below 10. So we'll continue our descent, but we're going to continue our slower descent down until we get to 250 and continue on down that way. By doing so, we'll bring our altitude down to 4, which is the next restriction. Some more speed brakes, so we got our nose down quicker. I think this is a regression in the beta build. Do you see the stream right now?
No.
So the tiles are popping up. I need to screenshot that so I can post that in the on their forums and report it as a regression, because that wasn't a thing. I've been noticing that more and more often lately. All right, there we go. Screenshot saved. No, the actual terrain. Yeah, it's the water tiles. Like I see the actual tiles. That shouldn't be a thing.
They have issues with that sometimes. Like I've noticed in 2020 when you do like a Caribbean flight, like if you don't have like a scenery built in, it will definitely be messed up.
In Bermuda traffic, United 1985, just inside of 30 miles to northwest. We're setting up for a right base entry runway 30 to a full stop Bermuda. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yep. I step off comms for a quick second.
Okay. Do your thing.
Right.
Alright. We're right where we're supposed to be. On speed. We're going to probably start to slow it down even a little bit more. Drop the speed brakes, that'll slow the descent rate down. Warning lights going on. Warning light goes on, and logo light goes on. Let's do our quick performance calculations for landing. Tango X-ray KEWR Foxtrot. Runway 30, condition, dry. Wind was 260 at 9. Outside air temperature was 28. And QNH was 1020. We'll do And we'll do flaps 40 config. On, anti-ice off, brakes. Let's see what we get with auto brake 2. Landing distance 7,400 feet. Let's look at our chart. $97.05, so we could technically do an auto brake too. That way we get off of we'll make a right turn on the Golf or Bravo here. Bravo. Yep. So auto brake 2 for arrival. Auto brake 2 is set. Bermuda traffic, we have 1985, 6,300 feet. We are about 14 miles to north-northwest. We'll be setting up for a right base entry runway 30 to a full stop, Bermuda.
All right. How far are we? We are. Great. The halfway point.
Nice.
I have 34 minutes remaining. That made up a lot of time.
All right, we'll take this down to 3. Plane's going to slow down. For our decel point, we should be 210 by the time we get to 50.
Matter of fact, let me see if we have any speed restrictions on the way down so I can know how long I can keep that speed up because I'm trying to get in there.
No, the only speed restriction is BIVD at 210.
Maybe at 210.
Yep.
So I can technically do 250 all the way down, or maybe 270. Be on the fast side, but it's 250 on the way down.
I did 290. I did 290 on the way down.
Okay. I mean, I'm in a baby bus, and if you can do that in a Boeing, then yeah.
Yep.
I can do 290. Out. Oh, no, 93 out from Baltic.
One and turnouts are coming on.
Get another refresh of the weather. 200 at 7.
Bermuda traffic, United 1985, 4,800 feet, we're 11 miles to the northeast now, setting up shop for a right base entry, runway 30 to full stop, Bermuda.
Yeah, it's definitely going to rain there soon. It just dropped a couple of degrees.
Got some ships out in the harbor. Do flaps 1. And we're 13 miles out from the VOR. We'll switch over to the ILS. India Bravo Delta Alpha 297 final approach course, 13.1 DME. We're good. ILS is identified. Go ahead and turn inbound.
$159 on top of the sun.
And Bermuda traffic, United 1985, 3,300 feet. We are 13 miles to the northeast on the right base runway 30 to a full stop, Bermuda. Too tight of a turn, so we'll slow it down. We'll just intercept the localizer from here. Let's call him for 2. Switches are continuous, everything else looks good, We're auto brake 2 set. Wait for the localizer to come into play. It's alive now. We'll hit VOR LOC. So CF30 for the chart. Approach 9.6 DME from the localizer. So we're at 11 now, so we're just coming up to it.
2,500.
Nice cruise ship offshore here.
Nice.
There we go, localizer's captured. And we'll just sit at 2,000 until the glide slope comes in. Remember, we're intercepting glide slope 1,481. And Bermuda traffic, United 1985 is now setting up on a 10-mile final runway 30, full stop, Bermuda. Runway is in sight. Alright, we'll take this down to 180. Rear's gonna go down. News light comes on, and now we're fully configured. We'll do flaps 5, there we go. With the approach, get our descent going. And we set flaps 40. So 140 with the wind correction. Yep. Traffic at 91985, short final 30, full stop Bermuda. Alright. My airplane, my throttles. Right to left crosswind, so we'll add a little bit of crab. I see the pappies, 2 white, 2 red. Stay above VREF.
$1,000.
Opposite.
The wind calm down, nice and smooth now. Just small corrections.
$400. Approaching minimums. 300. Minimums.
Want to continue?
200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Boom. Lower the nose. Just go to reversers, and we'll roll it all the way down in the end. once we get to the gate, I'll pull up what our landing rate was and how our performance for the landing was, just so we get clear of this runway. We'll make the left turn here on the Bravo as we briefed, and we'll take Bravo on down to the terminal. But everybody, welcome to Bermuda. We'll wait till we get past the hold short bars. We'll slow it down. Past the hold short bars, now we can stow the reversers and the flaps. Fire up the APU. And Bermuda traffic. The United 1985 is clear of runway 30 and continuing over to the terminal via Bravo, Bermuda.
So, I just thought about something. You know how when I said something about, like, you know, using alternate? Like, this is kind of like my first, I guess I wouldn't say it's my first international flight, but this is my first time going to Bermuda.
Mm-hmm.
What would your alternate be?
My alternate is Elizabeth City, North Carolina.
So you would have to head back to the, yeah, see?
Yep, I had to carry carry enough extra fuel to be able to head back to the QS. That's why I checked the weather like 3 times on the way, just to make sure that we weren't going to run into an issue.
Yeah, I'm borderlining right now.
Alright.
So,
Waiting
yeah,
for the blue lights on the APU.
Right now it's saying 12.1. Alright, let's get this set.
APU's on, we'll switch.
One last check of the weather. Zero at 7, you at 2.
Hopefully this thing will reach us. Pull forward just a little bit more. And we'll hold it right there. Good enough for government work. Park brake is going to be set. Switch the packs
Brakes.
over to APU.
Brakes.
And everything else looks good. Alright. Engine 1, engine 2. Seatbelt signs off. Switch those off, and we'll turn the window heats off. And everybody, chat, welcome to Bermuda, where the weather is partly cloudy, not bad at all. And again, where it was reporting showers in the vicinity, we didn't see any on the way in, so we're at gate 6, which of course is this one, but it won't let me do anything with it. So we will
It's more
just
towards the south.
we'll just call it parked and gated for now. But welcome to Bermuda. I may just go over to number 5. Bam. There we go.
Are you pick 5?
Don't take 6 because 6 is not modeled in GSX. I don't know why, but it's not.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I planned for 5, so I'll take, what's the next one over?
4.
4?
Yep.
Yeah.
Alright. So we have a drum roll now. Drum roll, please, for our landing performance in Bermuda. Courtesy of Volanta. Statistics. Landing rate, -144.
Oh, man. Nice. Yeah, that did look like butter. I'll give you that. I might get the 198 for the 500 bills.
Alright, we came in just exactly like we were supposed to do, intercepted the glide slope and the localizer, and carried it on down. A little bit long on our landing. We did float just a little bit more than I wanted to, but we still touched down in the appropriate touchdown zone. -144 at 125 knots. 1.03 G.
Check where I'm at on the radar finally.
All right. Where are you at? Oh, there you are. View your flight parameters. Flying the baby bus. I gotta send you a friend request. There you go, I just sent you a friend request on Volanta.
Oh, I don't have it downloaded on this string. I gotta log in. I sent you one on radar, Vatsim radar.
Well, that's not good.
What?
This guy's at 38,000 feet. Coming to Bermuda at 38,000 feet.
Where's he at?
About,
Where's
what,
he at?
15 miles south of the airport.
He's asleep. All right. Seatbelt signs on.
That's interesting. Volanta and Vatsim are not reporting accurately. Yeah, go figure. But we'll close that out.
Our landing calculation. 0 at 7. Zero at 7.
What's your altitude right now?
37. Get ready to set.
Oh, you're getting ready to hit descent?
Yep. 40 nautical miles. All the brakes we need to get for this one.
What we'll do is we'll go to drone cam. We'll go out to the runway and wait for you.
Sweet. No pressure again. No pressure.
Well, I set the bar high, so.
Yeah, again. At least you got off the runway. And I had enough time to get over there.
Hey, you're right. That's true. We're gonna go hang out by the tower because I believe the tower is over here on this scenery.
How does that look in 24?
What, the scenery?
Yeah.
I mean, it needs to be updated for 2024 because this is definitely 2020, but it doesn't look terrible. And I have no doubt in my mind that they'll update it for 24. We'll do the tower view for your landing. The performance was spot on for us landing in here. Didn't really get any. I got a couple audio stutters, but no actual in-game stutters, so that's good.
This is going to be interesting because I normally realize, like, I do a lot of left turn to finals, and this one's going to be a right turn to final from the right seat.
I had to think about that for a second. I'm like, wait a minute. No, it's a left. No, you're right. Right turn from the right seat. I cheated. I landed in the captain's seat.
Hey, well, as long as we're not in the pilot's life, that's it. Okay. All right, start about the seat. That was 12 knots.
Wingflex hasn't gotten back to me with the question that I posted on their Discord, which is weird. They usually are pretty good with answering questions fairly quickly.
Well, I mean, that's kind of good too because I haven't figured out 100%.
What you're gonna do?
Yeah, I mean, because like I said, like I'm gonna wind up buying all of it, and now I know I gotta get a new throttle.
Just wait for everything to fully flesh out from Wingflex by the end of the year and just drop the money and buy all of it.
Well,
if I was in
like
your shoes, that's what I would do.
Throttle.
Huh?
Yeah, I like the Wingflex. I kind of like the Wingflex throttle because, you know, it has the trim wheel in it. I mean,
it'll have the motorized trim wheel.
Yep.
It's not going to be a capacitive or a switch. It's actually a motorized trim wheel that's going to come out with Wingflex for the Airbus.
That'd be great, though.
Yeah, which means that throttle is going to be like $1,000, but we'll see. Yeah, all they released was some pictures. So chat, you can see what we're talking about. Let's see if I can pull the pictures up. Announcements. That's the McDoos.
Look at that spool down sound. oh, gets me every time. There's a couple of things that I can't wait to happen on 24 with the that parallel 42. You know, when you get the Kenton trails, the better heat blur, the camera, of course, the immersion pack they have.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait for that to come over to 24.
they post it in general and I just not am seeing it? Hang on. They did. Alright, so you guys can see this is what wing flex is coming out. It's direct from Predator with Winwig. So they're coming out with a 1-for-1 tiller for the Airbus.
Ooh.
With the pedal disconnect button in the center. And then they're coming out with a full throttle quadrant with flaps, as you can see, engine switches, and then a 1-for-1 throttle quadrant with the matching detents, motorized trim, air and start switches, your spoilers. So it's going to be a full center pedestal that they're coming out with. Throttle size and stroke are completely identical to those of the real Airbus, and it will be manufactured in accordance with Level D, so Level D simulation standards. The automatic trim system will adopt direct drive control for operation, ensuring the feel and force feedback are identical to the real Airbus.
But you were right. You're right. You're right. Airbus.
They also came out with, and I'm sure if you're in Flight Sim, so you probably saw Captain Canada's video of the overhead panel and pictures of the overhead panel. This is what I'm waiting for. This was nice. The model was working. This was a one of one. This literally, they said, just came out of the factory and they took it and brought it with them to Expo to display, because later this year they're releasing the overhead panel. And it's going to come with the capability for a desk mount, so Vatsim mount capable. And I've heard that the actual mount itself, the black part, everything, when I was at the Windflex booth for Expo, is going to come with the overhead panel, so it'll be mountable directly to your desk. So I'm excited for this part. Plus, of course, down in this picture you got the R&P, the FCU, and the EFIS. And I have the FCU and the EFIS, and I pre-ordered the R&P, which is coming soon. It's supposed to ship July 31st. So. And I have the McDo. So, excited. You should be coming up in what, about 10,000 feet now?
I'm still ahead. Hold on. One off. Remember.
I was about to say SimRate is your friend, but you're using your VA software, right?
Yeah.
Still beautiful clouds in the weather.
It's bumpy coming in too.
There was a couple pockets of turbulence on the way in. It wasn't that bad. You know, while I'm waiting, zoom out here to see if I see the tiles. I get a good, better picture than what. Nope. So maybe it was just a streaming like loading thing, because it looks like it fixed itself. I don't see any tile lines or anything anywhere here. I do see a bunch of ships though, which is nice.
I might turn those up. I might turn those up.
So I used the GAIST add-on for ships that replaces the stock with aftermarket ship models and stuff. And then it also has all the shipping routes. See, there's a ship right here. We'll come up to it. We'll go hang out on the ship. Wait for you to come over the downwind for the airport.
Post-flight cruise.
Oh, too fast on the camera speed, so we'll turn it down just a little bit. There we go. We'll do it from the bow of the ship. Overlooking Bermuda. Although I think this is a stock ship. This isn't GAST. Because it's a low poly model. See if I can get a good stream thumbnail. You about 14,000 feet now?
Nope. Unfortunately, no. 19. Heading to 4.
We'll say though.
You said transition over here was 18, right?
Yep, it's 18. At least we're getting, I mean, flawless performance. Once we got out of Newark Liberty and we had some of that stuff that obviously needs to be reworked with the LODs. But once we got away from there and we got out over the water and landing here, it's just absolute pure smoothness.
I think I made a pretty good time. It'd be what, 20 minutes after?
Yeah, what's your ETA? Should be about what, 15 minutes?
Less.
We'll listen to the APU spool down.
Nine minutes.
That APU spool down dough was full of juice. See if I can find you.
I think you might. I'm at 11,000. 15 from Capital. Bermuda traffic, American 3210. It's 20 out to the northeast. We'll be crossing Capital at 4,000 inbound for the ILS for runway 30. Bermuda.
So I'm using the Vatsim map, and I figured, all right, if I fly due north from the point, which is what I just left, that it would find you somewhere. I don't know what altitude I'm at, but I imagine I'm probably fairly close to like 6,000 or 7,000 feet, maybe even a little bit higher. No, I'm not gonna be able to find you because you're already past me. That was worth a shot.
It keeps messing with my descent speed. Did the winds change? Yeah, it did.
What, for landing?
No, just that 7,000. It was coming from the right. Like from my left. Now it's coming from the right. Bermuda traffic, American 3210, 6,000 for 3,000, 10 miles to the northeast, Bermuda. See, it didn't want to catch my speed restriction platform. That's why you stay ahead of it.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely high, though.
Do you see a cruise ship?
Yep, to my right.
I'm sitting right on top of it.
See me making a turn then?
No.
How many cruise ships are over there?
One.
Yeah, I see one big one out in the middle of the water. I'm a beam of it right now, making a right turn. Bermuda traffic, American 3210, making a right base for runway 30, Bermuda.
You should be rendering, because I have my rendering of my Vatsim traffic rendering from 40 miles.
I have the airport in sight. I'm literally turning towards the boat right now, the ship right now. You're right over the one in front of the runway, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Just actually, it's just to the left of final approach course.
Yeah. I'm literally going in what looks like the front. Should be right over you. I get flaps 2 weeks. Brakes are.
It's just so weird you're not rendered yet.
I'm literally right over the cruise ship.
Are you?
Yeah. Like. Yeah. Bermuda traffic, American 3210, turning final for runway 30, Bermuda. Turn around to the boat that you're on. Like, what's the boat look like? You're. It's a different boat, bro.
No,
A
really?
whole different boat.
Oh.
Yeah, because I'm right over it, directly over it.
Oh, I got you.
You down, flap 3.
Hey, look at that. Your gear came down. Well modeled. Alright, I'm gonna zoom ahead of you, get set up on the runway for your cinematic landing.
Yeah, you mean the one that I'm probably gonna go like halfway down a runway?
Where the rules are, it's just gotta be a safe and legal landing.
Not one of my St. Pete landings.
No. We've all had those before, though.
Landing under investigation.
Bermuda traffic,
wow.
Bermuda traffic, American 3210, short final for runway 30, Bermuda.
Almost called myself a United.
Mm-hmm.
My crap. I'm gonna turn this landing system off because I like to get a clear picture. Flight directors off. Oh. Nope, landing system stays on. Flight directors off. My bad. Wind from left to right. Correcting. Oh, had a little gust there. What is it? 15 from the left. That's why. That'll do it. quite started. Continue. Oh, yes. Come on.
Yeah, the wind, when you get lower, the wind kind of pretty much dies off.
Fine. Floater. Oh, going around. You're up. Flaps too. Oh yeah, the flaps don't work on this one.
What happened?
Bermuda traffic. American 3210 going around. Bermuda. We're making a right close traffic for runway 30, Bermuda.
I gotta put a curve on my rudder because every time I go to correct on the wing corrections, it's like very sensitive. As soon as I went to try to straighten the nose up, I started floating. See, I'm not perfect. Far from it.
You're just gonna do it like a short approach thing in, or you doing a full like 10-mile final?
No, definitely a short approach. I'm not doing all that again. Like I'll cut it in, on the 10-mile. I'll probably do the visual. And it doesn't help that the flap doesn't work. Gotta reach for the mouse now to remove the flaps.
Bermuda traffic, American 3210, midfield for 30, we're making a right traffic for runway 30. Bermuda.
Let me slow that down to 180. Why am I using mouse? That's why I have this thing. Flaps to you. Get out. That's great. Where am I? That's about. I can do it here.
Bermuda traffic, American 3210, turning right base for runway 30, Bermuda.
Touch roll. Fireplane.
Good luck. We're all counting on you.
Yeah, right. You're gonna get your money back. Gotta pay for that. And get the trucks rolling.
Bermuda traffic, American 3210, turning final, runway 30, Bermuda.
Catch me dead. Little low, really low actually. Fine. Yeah, it's not. That doesn't do one. That doesn't add up. I'm showing 2 rights, 2 reds, but it says I'm below on glide slope.
Yeah, so I just went visual and did did it with the pappies.
Glide slope. 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 Holding. Holding. 23 knots. Got it.
Well, a little bounce. No stutters, at least. We can say that was a plus.
Mm-hmm.
We just take it all the way down to the left, right?
Yep, all the way down to the left. You'll make a left onto Bravo.
You figured.
That's why I let it roll down the runway at like 60 knots the whole way.
That's what I just hit too. I'll start the MU here. Why not? You said to use Bravo, what, 7?
You make a left there on Bravo and just take it all the way down to the terminal.
And what gate did you use?
I'm at 5.
5.
Bermuda traffic, American 3210 is clear for all runways, Bermuda.
Flaps up. Speed brakes down. Lights off. Ooh, for a second I was like, why is my nose going up? I'm not taking off again. Jeez.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a bump there.
What do we say? Gate. You said 4?
Yeah, the one to my right. Gate 6 is the one to my left.
Yep, I see it. What's our cool down time? Then what? A minute? I need another minute. I'll slow it down over here. Entering apron, taxi light off. Why is there 2 GSX people? And they're saying 2 different things. Oh, wow. One person was really wrong.
Well, whoever you listen to is correct.
Shut them down. Belts. Begin. Did they actually put me on the line?
Yes. In the scenery, you were on the line. I gotta change my settings here.
All right, that's good for me. Not happy about that bounce, but let's see what we got on the landing rate, eh? Hope you had your insurance policies updated. Oh, wow.
What?
You don't want to know. That did not look like no 468.
On the first landing or the second landing?
If you had caught the first one. It did not put my second one.
Oh, look at that. New York Center is online.
Somewhere Vertical was laughing. Somehow he pressed the 50, 40, 30, like.
We need his distractions. So we'll invite him. We'll invite him into the stream next time.
I'm so mad at that. It's the baby bus syndrome for me. I don't land well in a baby bus. Which is crazy because the last couple of flights I was like 1 something, 45. Like, oh.
It's as soon as you lose power in the baby bus, you drop. So it does take a little bit more skill.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely need that skill.
Energy management.
Well, and that's another thing, because the Pappy was saying I was on glide slope, but the plane was telling me I was below. And then when it said 50, 40, 30, it was off. And I had full power, and apparently I guess I was at 50. I don't know. I gotta go back and look at it.
Alrighty. Well, I have to end the stream because I have to go.
Enjoy that.
So, chat, everybody out there watching, that's gonna do it for me and DJ. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate you very, very much for the time that you did spend watching. If you like the content, make sure you click that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. We'll be going live with obviously much more content as we're just starting to grow this channel. So every little like and subscription helps us continue to grow. So we appreciate you. Thanks for being there.
Catch you later, guys.
All right. Be safe. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye.